I've done very large projects in China and commercial projects in the United States, and Gloria and I have done some wonderful smaller projects where one has a lot of ideas. I think we've already experienced many collaborations for education and for artistic endeavors and for design projects and so on. And so it's a great culture with which to collaborate.
Peter is especially interested in Korea's traditional architecture. What aspects of Hanok have mesmerized him? Andong is famous for its well-preserved Hanok. First, the travelers visit a place where they can see at a glance a traditional village nestled in nature. It's as if Buyongdae Cliff is there just to offer this panoramic view of the Haue folk village, which in the Joseon dynasty was considered to be in a prime location. The name Haue, meaning water going around, was derived from the geographical layout in which the Nakdonggang River wraps itself around the village in an S shape.
It's very, very secured, and as we heard in a tale, the lifeblood of the village is analogous or is similar to the water flowing around it and protecting it, which is a very good feng shui to be held with the mountains behind, the view to the south and the southwest, and a protection of water all around. So it's, I think, from an architectural standpoint, not just a feng shui standpoint, it's a remarkable location and one.
Here, traditional houses that are centuries old are still preserved in their original state. What's the secret? As a clan village where the most original Korean culture is kept alive, Haue Folk Village is a cultural heritage and a dwelling.
I think it's here.
They are on their way to a house that sits in the heart of the village. It's the head house of Ryu Sung-ryong and the most famous residence in the village.
어서 오세요. Beautiful. Yeah. Lovely home. Nice to see you.
우리 충효당은 그 보물 414호로 지정이 돼 있고 저한테 13대 초부터 건물을 짓기 시작해가지고 3차례의 중건에 의해 가지고 완성이 된 집입니다. 요게 이제 사랑채고요. 남자들이 거주하는 사랑채. 그러니까 이 남자들이 거주하는 사랑채를 충효당이라고 이제 당호를 붙였는데 지금은 의미가 확대돼 가지고 집 전체를 갖다가 이제 충효당이라고 얘기를 하지요.
Ryu Sung-ryong was an esteemed scholar and prime minister of Joseon. He played a pivotal role in defeating the Japanese army during their invasion in 1592. The head house was built to honor his virtues and accomplishments. Even its name has an important meaning. It is said that Ryu often told his descendants to be loyal to their country and be devoted to their parents. Hence the house was named Chunghyodang, meaning loyalty and filial duty.
Oh, how beautiful. Look at the amazing beam. Beautiful beam.
이 방은 그 문중에서 이제 회의가 있다든지 사람들이 많이 모였을 때는 이 문을 갖다 이렇게 열게 돼 있습니다. 올리게 돼 있습니다. 올려서 걸고 이런 식으로 이 문들이 다 위로 올라가요.
Ah, perfect.
올라가면 그리고 그러니까 이 큰 사랑방은 남자 주인이 거처하는 방이고, 이 작은 사랑방은 그 아래 아들 남자가 거처하든지 아니면 외부에 손님이 왔을 때 손님방으로 사용합니다.
Wow, very nice.
The house, which is more than 300 years old, is a wonder.
What a great view.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
우리 한옥에서는 대들보라 그러죠. 이게 이제 전체적인 힘을 받는 구조고, 요즘은 새로 만든 한옥들은 그 장비들이 좋아가지고 이제 일자로 대부분 곱게 만드는데, 옛날에 집이 이게 한 330년 요체가 생긴 모양대로 깎아가지고 대들보 같은 거 이제 만든 거죠. 그래서 좀 이제 구불구불한데, 그래도 그렇게 해놓으니까 또 멋은 좀 있죠.
Is how light it makes the building become. So this is an incredibly heavy construction, and yet because the ridge floats above, it becomes much, much lighter, right, and delicate. And in fact, there are so many things in Korean architecture that are about lightness. For instance, this is such a beautiful kind of gesture of both an ability to open and an idea that there are several different layers. So we're in the human living area, and up there is much more an ancestral part of the building and sort of analogous to a place of thought. So here we are down here in the normal part, and then above it's all thought, a place of thought up there, and it's much more shadowy and beautiful. So the effect under here, such a wonderful effect of light, but also of sound, right? So the acoustics are beautifully caught by something like this.
Peter is enchanted by the serene atmosphere of the old house and the lifestyle it offers. He is especially impressed by the sense of duty that has been passed down from generation to generation.
It's a very big responsibility to be in charge of your family home, one of hundreds of years. So it's a heavy responsibility, yeah, but also a beautiful thing.
나도 이제 그 객지 생활을 하다가 한 2년 전에 아버님이 돌아가시고 집을 지키기 위해 가지고 이제 들어왔죠. 그 어렸을 때부터 이런 종가 문화에 익숙해 있기 때문에 뭐 이제 내가 들어와서 책임을 다해야 할 때가 되면 들어와서 내 역할을 하겠다는 생각을 갖고 살아왔어요.
They make their way to Anche, the main building that is not open to the public. It is where Ryu's descendants actually live.
Oh, the view is amazing. Oh, the women are much more civilized.
Traces of the past can be seen everywhere.
The women had a good place.
The solution about the rain.
As the women's quarters, Anche is located in the innermost part of the house. Designed to be occupied by 3 generations, it is neat and cozy.
집이 저 뒤에 보면 화산, 우리 마을산 화산이 쭉 내려와가지고 맥이 뒤에 이제 맥이 맺혔다 그래가지고 요 맥을 두고 집을 짓다 보니까 서양이에요. 서쪽. 향이 서양이라서 여름에는 햇볕이 깊숙이 들어와서 발을 갖다가 뒤지지 못할 정도로 뜨겁습니다, 여기가. 그래서 내가 생각할 때는 이 집을 상당히 높게 지었는데, 높게 지은 이유가 뒤가 높고 그 다음에 점차적으로 나가면서 낮기 때문에 이런 경사면에다가 집을 짓다 보니까 이게 그 집을 너무 낮게 하면 이 균형이 안 맞을 것 같고, 그래서 이게 높게 하면서 서양이라서 햇빛이 깊숙이 들어온 것 같다가 바람 순환을 좋게 하기 위해 가지고 높게 진 게 아니냐.
Korea's traditional architecture places the greatest emphasis on harmony with nature. The key is to utilize the given space wisely without disturbing nature.
The women's quarters was an extraordinarily modern structure, even though it was 200 or 300 years old. Modern because it held a multiplicity of possibilities and was very layered and had wonderful complexity between inside and outside, and established a continuity with geologic past that was extraordinarily powerful, how landscape could come into the making of this space. Are so beautiful.
Lastly, they visit a secret area in the house. Sadang is located in the most important part of the house, separated by its own walls and doors.
How beautiful. Great. Lovely.
여기 사당 문이 3개로 되어 있는데 이 중간에 있는 문은 그러니까 위패라든지 재물이 들어오는 신이 다니는 문이고, 지금 우리가 들어온 이 문은 제관들이 들어오는 문이고, 여기는 이쪽 문은 하인들이 들어오는 문이에요. 문이 3개 있는데.
Very beautiful too. It's very beautiful. So this feels quite wet. So maybe the
Before entering, one must bow with respect.
여기 쓰시고 신발 벗고.
Given that this is where the ancestors are worshipped, such decorum is only natural.
2번, 한 번 더.
We're a bit out of time here. I love
The family's ancestral tablets are kept here. They are of Ryu Seung-ryong himself, as well as the great-great-grandfather to the father of Chung Hyo-dang's current owner.
Oh, beautiful.
이제
Yeah.
위패 모셔놓는 저거고, 그 다음에 이 문을 열면
They show the public posts held by the ancestors, and as a rule, are only taken out of the case when there is a ritual.
이런 식으로 돼 있어요.
Isn't that lovely? Amazing.
Very, very beautiful.
Wow. So there's such an incredibly beautiful understanding of the way in which things need to be housed. So servants, family, the dead, the height of the table is really beautiful. The house in a house in a house in a closet, really beautiful. I learned something, I think I learned more as a person, that this man had lived a regular modern life, and then after the death of his father had returned to the family home, or the ancestral home, to take care of the home as a way of taking care of the long history of his family. And that's what made him royal, is the way in which he maintained a kind of continuity. So that gives us an understanding of a tremendous respect for the past and a sort of responsibility to preserve and to maintain that and bring it into the future. But he wasn't working to modernize it. In fact, he gave up his modern life to return to a traditional life.
The Haue folk village could preserve its history of 600 years thanks to the villagers who proudly protected it. Their determination to carry on the family name and keep their tradition alive heightens the village's value as a living cultural heritage.
Oh, look at this.
Visitors can also spend a very special night in Hanok.
Hello.
예, 안녕하세요. 예. 그래서 예.
The Kotek Stay program is a great way to experience Korea's traditional lifestyle. Today, the two travelers will be staying in a 250-year-old Kotek. Currently occupied by the family's descendants, it has 1 or 2 rooms that are available for visitors.
이 하회 마을을 조선 시대의 가장 원형을 보존이 잘 돼 있는 마을로서 그래서 이 산과 그다음에 이 집들의 어우러짐을 세계 유네스코에서 인정해가지고 세계 유네스코에서 등재가 된 게래요. 예? 그래서 많은 관광객이 찾아오지 않습니까? 예? 찾아오면은 옛 추억을 찾고 그런 사람들은 옛날에 우리 조상들이 어떻게 살았다 하는 것을 느끼고 갈 수 있는 그런 공간을 지금 제공하고 있다. 예?
The travelers can feel the Korean-style affection through the warm welcome of their hosts. In Korea, serving a carefully prepared meal to one's visitors is considered very important. The hostess shows off her cooking skills to her foreign guests, serving a delicious homemade meal cooked with seasonal ingredients and regional specialties.
안동 강고등어하고요. 또 텃밭에 나는 야채하고 그래서 밥상 차립니다. 된장찌개하고.
What a delicious looking dinner.
안동에서 유명한 강고등어 드세요. 예, 맛있게 드세요.
Beautiful. Thank you.
The meal is neat and simple.
It does feel just like the family. And I think one of the things about Korean pickles is that they are very personal. So when you eat them in somebody's home, if they've made them themselves, they are very descriptive what that family loves to eat. And so the pickles themselves have a sort of reveal the personality of the family, which is, I think, wonderful. We like very much the architecture of the hanok, and it seems almost like a perfect kind of way of thinking about space. There's something very humbling about sleeping on the floor and not having so much furniture mediating between you and the experience of the building and so on.
For me, I think the peacefulness of the villages is what appealed to me most. And what I would like would be to live in a hanok. The thing about a hanok is that they're very small and you can only have very special items. So I think it forces you to live in a simple way. And I think that might be a lesson for us all in the future. I think probably that's the lesson I will take home with me, that only choose things that are very special and live in a much more simple way.
Sewon. Educational institutions of the past are must-visit places in Andong. Pyeongsan Sewon is known for its architectural beauty.
What's the Sewon?
The Sewon is an academy where they taught Confucian principles and prepared students for the national governmental exam.
Huh.
So it's a beautiful, come in through the gate, push down by the gate, opened up in the front courtyard, push down under the teaching platform, come out, see the master, and move forward.
Built in the style of early Sewon, Pyeongsan Sewon is a good example of a building that is in harmony with its geographical features, utilizing nature in a flexible way.
So this is absolutely perfect archetypal architecture that extends the landscape rather than sets itself apart from the landscape. So everything it does makes you appreciate the landscape more, right? It's really beautiful. And it also makes you understand the loss of the view, then the recovery of the view, right? So you turn your back, you get crushed down, then you have enlightenment as you see the mountain and so on and so forth. It's not bad for a school.
No, it's
pretty good, eh?
yeah, a lesson in itself.
Yeah.
The Seowon's representative building is the Manderu Pavilion. This was where students would take a break or participate in outdoor classes. Centuries have passed since then, but its grandeur remains the same.
What is so beautiful is the choice of every one of these beams is arcing up at all of those beautiful arching spaces, making an incredibly beautiful space, right, as it curves like that, right? And then the scholar would have his back there, or else maybe he would be here, and the mountain would be the background for the scholar.
A picturesque landscape created by the Nakdonggang River and Pyeongsan Mountain can be seen between the pillars.
For me, 20 years ago, this was my strongest memory of Korean, the power of Korean architecture. I mean, of course, many of the gestures of this building you find in the palace, you find in the temple, but I found, maybe because I'm a teacher, a lot of value in this being a place of teaching and all of the things that it shows us in relationship to nature. So I would say this architecture complements and extends what it found in nature, and something that we need to do as contemporary architects is to reposition architecture within nature. And so this is the lesson that this building gives.